Has anyone ever been bullied? Has anyone ever been depressed or suffered from anxiety? So, my name is Raul Chavez, and welcome to Project XGuard. So can we give each other a round of applause for coming? Thank you guys. And I also want to give your parents a round of applause for bringing you, because honestly, it takes a lot of dedication for them to get up and take you to places that are going to benefit you. So give them a round of applause. So I want you guys to know what I'm going to teach you today is a little bit of how Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can help with being bullied, help with the anxiety and the depression that it brings to you. The number one thing is if we look at it and say it's all about perspective. We can look at things, this is a negative or a positive. So settle is going to show, can you step aside? So I'm an attacker. I'm coming from behind and I'm going to choke settle. Bad situation, right? All about perspective. Okay, now he's in a better situation. Different perspective. He wants to finish the armbar, okay? Or he runs and calls for a teacher. It's also about taking our opportunities. If we look at something in a negative way, we're always going to feel bad for ourselves. If we take it as a positive and take it as an opportunity, right, to learn a little bit about ourselves, then it will only benefit us. So typical schoolyard situation, right? One of the guys or girls wants to bully you, grabs you, this is a bully choke, right? Schoolyard bully choke. Bad situation, or is it an opportunity for Eduardo to get away or not? Okay? Ready? And then you take off. The last one is, do we want to be the victim, or do we want to be a superhero? I would prefer to be a superhero. So I'm in the schoolyard and I'm bullying seamen, right? Oh, your hair smells, right? Now I come and I wanna punch her. Right? I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. I come, oh, okay. And then she can finish with the armbar. All right. All about perspective. So, is it possible, I know I've shared it with your parents, my story, I haven't shared it with you. Is it okay if I share a little bit of my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu story with you guys today? Thank you. So, I grew up in Toronto. I grew up in community housing. Back then it was called Ontario Housing. I don't know if any of you guys know Regent Park. So Regent Park was not the greatest neighborhood in Toronto. A lot of drugs, a lot of gangs, a lot of violence. I grew up with seeing violence all around me on the outside. I was in a fight every day at school, and I also grew up seeing a lot of violence in my house. My dad drank a lot, and my dad beat up my mother a lot, right? All of these things affected me. I moved to a different part of the city, more Italian, mostly Italians, maybe a handful of minorities. Every day I was called a spick, every day I was bullied, every day I got into a fight. And as I grew up, all these things wore on me, caused anxiety, depression. The way I learned to deal with it would be to act out and get into fights. As I got older, I got into cocaine and I got into alcohol. And I also would lash out on my family, on my children, until I discovered Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu helped me control my anxiety attacks. They helped me control the fears of not being in control. So I finally found a passion. I finally found something that I wanted to do. I would no longer want to go drink, because if I went to go drink or do drugs at night, I knew I wouldn't get up to go train. What I did do was dedicate myself to the point that I started getting private lessons from some of my friends who were better than me, because we always want to find people that are better than us so they can elevate us. That's why they say I can tell who you are if I know who your 5 closest friends are. So always try to hang around with people who are better than you. When you're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, try to roll with somebody who has more experience. Purple belt, purple belt, purple belt. You're not going to learn anything beating up somebody. You're going to learn something putting yourself through the fire and helping yourself learn how to get through tough situations without fighting. Okay? So I decided to go on a weight plan, go into a new weight category, and in 2016 I put myself in my first world championship, and I won for my weight category, my belt. I'm a world champion now because I decided to finally put myself out there. Didn't really matter if I won or lost. Didn't really matter. It was that I put myself through the journey. I went last year, I didn't win, but I put myself in another weight category, even lower. And this year I'm going to put myself in a lower weight category. Challenge yourself. So all I want to do today is share with you the love I have for this sport and martial art that has literally saved my life. And I want to pass it on to you guys, and I want to pass it on. Hopefully you leave here today and say how amazing it is, and spread the word of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So thank you very much.